In this video, I will give you 5 small and easy to implement tips and techniques that you should start. Huge tips that will require you to change up the way you play Rel completely. As I said, these are just some small tips, but they will come in handy if used correctly. And you will maybe learn something you didn't already know about. So with that being said, let's get into it. Let's start with something very few other supports, like Thresh. Instead of hitting each caster individually, you can just hit all of them with your Q when they're full life, and they will be perfectly pre-hit for your ADC to last hit them. I'm sure most of you are already doing this, but for the few who don't, this will be nice to know. You can definitely save some seconds with that. Now for something a little bit more advanced. Don't always spam W into R when you go for an engage or for a catch on Rel. I know in most cases you want to use Magnet Storm right after Crashdown so you guarantee that Crashdown hits, but especially when getting catches and you are not too sure if the enemy is in range, that could be the wrong play. Because you're actually able to increase the chance of your Crashdown hitting when you wait a bit with Magnet Storm after using your W ability. As you can see here, the target dummy is just out of range of my Crashdown. And when I use WR instantly, I'm just not able to catch it with it. But when I wait a second before casting my R Magnet Storm and use it while I'm already sliding on the ground, I'm able to use the Magnet Storm drag to just barely hit the target dummy with my Crashdown. And this can make a huge difference in your games. This might be a bit difficult at the beginning, but once you get to know your range a bit better, you won't have any problems using this when it's needed. Now we have another very simple one, but maybe something some of you were not aware of until now. But Rel, when unmounted, is able to insta-clear a ward when placed right on top of her. All you have to do is basic attack, mount up basic attack into another basic attack. And it's actually pretty easy once you get used to it. This will be very useful for you, because this happens quite a lot, especially when you're a player who likes to play around the bot lane brushes, and the enemy support wants to ward the brush you're in just to make sure you can't engage on him. Staying on the topic of very simple, but you might not know about it, did you know that you can break the connection of Rel's E, Attract and Repel, by just pressing E while hovering over Rel herself? It took me a long time to notice that that is even possible. I always thought I would have to either leave the range of my E, which technically doesn't even break it, it just deactivates it until you walk in the range again, or I have to connect to someone else. But no, you can just click and it's gone. This is especially useful when you want to hide in a lane brush and you don't want to give away that you're in the area, because enemies are able to see the E around your teammate. The final trick in this video, I have to admit, is something you will probably not need too often in your games. But since it exists, I still want to talk about it. Have you ever had the situation where you just casted your Q and before it even got through, you noticed that you angled it wrong? You're actually able to cancel Shattering Strike mid-animation by using Attract and Repel. And I'm talking about the stun part and not the connection part. I tried it with the first part of Attract and Repel and unfortunately it doesn't work. But yeah, that one will probably not be too useful. But at least you know about it now, right? Alright, and that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed and maybe you even learned something new. I will see you all in the next one.